It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pots, all of them.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror Freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Horror. I am Daniel Shine, joined as always by Todd Loya, Pugs Dread, and our special guest reviewer for the evening, Chris McGibbon. Gentlemen, how goes your days?
No, I'm gonna say
we're still trying to get Chris on. He's right here. That's not on him.
There he is. Yes. That's on Todd.
I don't have an edgy intro thing that I can do like Pugs does. We all can't hate Return of the Living Dead like him. So
well, no, you can't let it go. I had a conversation with Chris yesterday.
Oh, really?
Hey.
Live your life, buddy.
I'm gonna convert you, damn it.
You should have put your you should have put your Return of the Living Dead poster where the Night of the Creeps one is for today.
I can't. It's upstairs. It's in a snap frame. Those are screwed into the wall, so that's not going anywhere.
You don't have the Scream Factory one?
You know I do. I have part 2 as well.
Oh, see, I figured. But we're not here to talk about Pug's distaste for Return of the Living Dead.
Distaste, please.
One of you is going to be triggered right now because I just saw this.
Because you're not reading, saying what the episode is or any of that shit?
Yes, we are reviewing Becky, and I will get to it, Todd.
Well, it's on the screen. Introduce it.
Episode 273, Becky review.
Oh, God.
Boom. All right, first I got to crush somebody's spirits. This is
all right. Chris is about to be the new host.
All right.
See, he doesn't know what we get here. You got to go and talk shit. He gets kicked off. Now you lose your first position.
Oh, and then there were 2. So, you want to talk Return of the Living Dead?
Fuck you. Flights to LA are cheap.
Well, all right. So, I should have done something that would have pissed Todd off. But unfortunately, Chris, this one's going to get you. Did you know that there is a brand new... Well, I don't know how new this is. I want to be fair, but I just noticed it. So, I don't think it's too old. There's a region-free Blu-ray of Creepshow 3.
There's been one for quite a few years.
And
no, I haven't seen one.
It's been quite a few years.
And you and when we did our pick for our worst movie, you and I fought over who was going to get that or Day of the Dead 2. We had to flip a coin. So you hate that movie.
That's not even a contest. Day of the Dead 2.
Oh, I hate it.
No, we each had to pick a movie. Because his was going to be Day of the Dead 2 or Creepshow 3, and mine was Day of the Dead 2. And then I thought, Creepshow 3 is pretty bad too. So him and I were going to pick either one. So we had to flip a coin to see who got which movie. And he got Creepshow 3 and I got Day of the Dead 2.
I will watch Creepshow 3 times in a row if I don't ever have to watch Day of the Dead 2 again.
You can all have my Return of the Living Dead copy.
Contagion. The movie that made up a word.
I like the real Creepshow 3, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie.
There you go.
But isn't it from the Dark Side, the movie?
What?
Nothing. Move on. We can't even talk about the movie we're supposed to talk about. I don't care.
All right, let's talk.
We're not there yet.
I know.
All right, so our film tonight is from co-directors Jonathan Malo and Carrie Murnian, and it is Becky. Spunky and rebellious Becky is brought to a weekend getaway at a lake house by her father Jeff in an effort to try and reconnect. The trip immediately takes a turn for the worse when a group of convicts on the run, led by the merciless Dominic, suddenly invade the lake house. All right, so this is, of course, the film that we were all excited about because it was Kevin James' first ever villain role, and he plays a pretty nasty white supremacist. So since we're reviewing that, I think it's only fair, Pugs, you got to go first. It's only fair.
I guess I'm after you, Pugs.
As the show's resident white supremacist, I guess I could take it.
What the fuck?
Clayton Bigsby in the house.
It's only fair.
Okay. Yes, sir, Master Dan. All right. So Kevin James is awesome. I want to throw that out there because I like him a lot. So I was really looking forward to him like branching out. I think he started off well and it kind of fizzled out. Like he came out intimidating at first, and then I was like, I just just make your jokes, dude, because you're like fighting it. I can see it. Yeah. So as the movie as a whole starts off really well, and then it just fizzles out with like peaks of entertainment for me. I really wanted more of a kidnap vibe, and we didn't quite get there. But I don't want to spoil anything too much before you gentlemen get to go. So
yeah, Chris, be careful on that. I know there's one thing you want to yell.
Listen.
We'll do a spoiler. Tom.
Yeah, we'll do a spoiler section. So in the opening parts, we'll just leave it.
Not happening.
I'm gonna fucking say it.
And you know what? And I would let it go if it didn't split. But because I'm trying not to say it.
We can get over the spoiler wall now if you want. Just throw that warning out.
Well, if that's the thing, then we need to.
We got it. I think we should at least review the movie first.
That's what I'm saying. That's
because people are going to want to hear us talk about the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
but I don't feel like it's a spoiler. I mean, this is like.
I will tell you my reason why I think it is.
Okay.
Because of later, and then you'll understand my.
I probably won't. I probably won't, but it's all good.
Well, if you look in the host chat, I'll just type it out.
Okay.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with it, and I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, of course you do.
It's not necessarily true. Living Dead, buddy.
Yeah. No shit. You don't like Return of the Living Dead, so fuck you. I don't care what you think.
I'm curious what the big spoiler is for this one, to be honest. Do you want me to talk while you do it?
Spoilers.
I know Dan does not comprehend.
No, not that one, but that sucks.
Because if you give one away, it gives the other away, so it's hard.
That's what I'm talking. Okay, Pugs. Did you see the message?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's a spoiler?
I don't.
There's a website dedicated to this for sensitive people.
Because for someone like me, this would potentially make me not want to watch the movie. Because I really got mad at Todd when I saw it happen. I was like, "You didn't fucking tell me this was going to happen."
Okay, because of reasons like that, I would allow it. Like that one, that one I get.
I will allow it, but not specifics. Like if you say,
okay, I'll be vague about it. We're spending more time talking about what I'm gonna say than actually just saying it. One of the dogs dies, and I don't like it. I don't like watching animals in movies get killed.
At least one of the dog dies.
At least one of them dies,
and they don't shy away from that, which I was shocked about. I was like, "Whoa, that's not."
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Anyway, all right, there you go. So, Todd, what did you think of the movie?
I'm kind of with Pugs. I did enjoy it, but it's one of those like there was no really new ground covered. But there were like once we really get into it, and I don't know if it's because I'm a fan of Joe McHale, but once after his stuff, it's kind of I think it loses steam after that because that's setting the bar, and he's like. The stuff that's happening with him, and I am such a fucking dumbass.
Yep, I was about to say it. I was like, well, we're talking about fucking spoilers, so why not?
Oh, God damn it.
I was trying to no sell it, but yeah.
Yeah. So,
we'll put a mild spoiler.
He leaves the movie for a little while. Like he goes off on a boat.
There we go.
That's not what happens.
So it's not Dan today. Good job.
I know.
I'm actually kind of proud.
You know what? It's all right. I'm just gonna cut it out, so we'll just move along.
Leave it in there. It's the animal trauma. It gets everybody.
Yeah, no, I get that. Usually, you always.
I have to cut out when Dan fucks up. I get to cut out when I fuck up.
You want? Go for
it.
I don't want to look stupid. You know how much cutting I have to do because of Dan.
You don't have a head on. You're good.
Well, hey, so far I'm golden. So.
See, you sound smart. You're silent.
Well, also, Dan, in fairness, you haven't really said a lot either.
I was gonna say that.
Well, maybe today I won't do anything. So do you?
There's
want me to
nothing
go
left,
next?
Dan.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, tell us how attracted you are to Becky.
No, God.
That's messed up, Pugs. All right, so
she's too old.
First,
oh God, it's fucking 2020, y'all. Like, what the hell?
First, before I get into it, I just want to say, in my heart, I want to believe that Kevin James is the same guy from King of Queens, and Leah Remini discovered his racism and left him. He went to jail, and this is where the Kevin James from King of Queens is. I don't think it makes sense that Paul Blart became a horrible white supremacist, but that's possible.
But here's my thing: is he really a horrible white supremacist?
He's got a swastika tattooed on his
Yeah, but you know what? Other than that,
there's a black family in there that does not get called one N-word, and honestly, I would like some realism.
I wonder if that was his decision though, because maybe he didn't want to say that word. It might have been scripted like that. He might have been like, "I'm not comfortable." Because it really could have been like a political correctness and like it's 2020, like I don't want to drop that word and have people
have that believe.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying like people are so fucking sensitive right now. Like I don't think it would have been.
But
there's all types of synonyms.
Yeah, but you already called out the dog thing. That's a sensitive subject always.
Well, it is, but you know.
But my thing is. Mixed couple, and he says like one snide comment, even if he doesn't want to drop the N-bomb.
Well, and he gets spit on too. I was like,
"Oh yeah, I was waiting for it." That right
there. I was like, "All right,
just like you people." Even just saying like "you people," that's hard enough. Because I did it at work when I go, you know how they are, and it gets everybody every time. Like it doesn't even matter; it's just so general. It's fucking hilarious.
I do feel like the movie's extremely bloody. I mean, there is some nasty gore in this one. So it was interesting that they did kind of handle that aspect of it with kid gloves. Although, interestingly enough, even in the descriptions, it doesn't actually like make a big deal out of the whites. In all honesty, that part he didn't have to be a white supremacist,
and that's my problem with. That's my biggest problem with it. He could have just been a dick with his little comments he made. I mean,
at the very beginning when he gave that Rottweiler speech, that was like the only like moment where it was like, ooh, this is going to get really ugly when he finds out that, you know, mixed couple, which he already did. But so anyways, the movie, I actually had a lot of fun with it, but it is probably the most unrealistic premise I have seen in a long time. Because
Dan knows he takes them 13-year-olds out with ease.
That's messed up, Todd. So this girl takes a beating. I mean, at one point, Kurgan.
Hold on, are we over the spoiler wall before Dana gets too crazy?
I know.
I'm not spoiling anything. She takes a licking. She gets beaten up pretty good. Now, if you have a full-grown
Dan,
7
foot takes
man,
a licking about a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, for God's sakes!
And let me finish. Shut up, Todd. All right. So, if you've got grown men even connecting once with a 13-year-old, I'm a little surprised they made her 13 because I felt like that actress was probably like 15, 16.
If that makes you feel better.
It's hard to believe that you could physically have any chance and that wouldn't have been over in a second.
I disagree with you to a certain point. She is very fucking angry at the time.
Sure, but
and like, dude, you can get hard R strength when you're that angry.
Oh my fucking god! I'm gonna have to get out of here. I don't think I can fucking do this with you guys. I don't.
You know what? I could have bought it if they broke her cell phone, because you know how like kids.
They did break her cell phone,
dude.
I don't think he broke it. Did he?
Yes, he did. He snapped it.
All right.
We need to get over that spoiler wall because
maybe that explains it.
Someone was paying attention.
I'm not going to say anything inappropriate to make Chris more uncomfortable. I'm trying to bring it down a notch.
I'm trying to behave for Chris.
You're not trying hard enough,
dude. This is me trying my hardest.
You don't know him, but it was intense. I mean, if you can handle a really, in my opinion, ridiculous Home Alone kind of premise, I mean, there was some good gore. I mean, I'm not going to spoil the gore bits, but I was amazed. It's a couple of the gore bits, especially. I won't spoil it. I'm trying to dance around.
Do we want to just like give our opinion, like rate it real quick, and then jump into spoilers?
Well, I think Chris wants to talk a little bit. Todd, you rude bastard.
I'm not sure if I do.
Well, do you want to talk
Chris?
Spoiler wall?
Well, he wants to say whether he liked it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I actually kind of agree with what Dan said about it being a little ridiculous at points, but like I never felt like that while watching the movie. It was afterwards when I kind of thought about it. So I stick to the peanut butter and jelly sandwich theory with that one. That if I didn't think of it while I was watching it, it really doesn't count. But
I have a question. What is the peanut butter and jelly theory?
It's Hitchcock came up with it, where if you're watching a movie and something happens doesn't really make sense, you don't think of it while you're watching the movie, but you think about it when you get home and making your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it doesn't count because now you're not invested in the movie and you're not in that reality anymore. You're in the real world and you're thinking about real world things, so you're thinking about logic then, so it doesn't count because that's what they call the peanut butter and jelly sandwich theory.
Okay, well, I just wanted that clear. So
yeah, so
continue.
I thought it was. I got mad at one point. At the point with one of the dogs, I got mad at how violent it was in that instance. That really pissed me off. I was really rooting for those guys to get it. I didn't care what they did to anybody else. I cared that they killed the dog. And then when they did get their comeuppance, I was pretty fucking happy because it was the kind of visceral violence I wanted from like any revenge movie. It pretty much gave me exactly that. And it kind of, in a couple of instances, it took it a step further too, which I really appreciated. Like there were a couple of like red herring ideas they could have done, and then they just took it further, which for some people could be a problem because then it becomes unbelievable. But for other people like me, it was like, hey, fuck yeah, these guys deserve the worst that they can get. Like none of them die quietly, which is like fantastic. So I was pretty happy about that. But
the one thing I know that you hated, and I know Dan's like it really hated it too. I think you needed that dog death as much as I didn't like it also, because up until that point, 13-year-old Becky was a 13-year-old girl that are all evil and you want to punch them in the face. So I'm just going to say that helped flip from where she was at because teenage girls are nightmares. Yeah, so I think that helped because otherwise she's just a whiny girl the whole time.
I can't disagree. It's not a necessary evil. I can still not like it.
Oh no, I'm not. I totally agree. But that's my without getting any more spoilers.
So, do we want to rate it and then talk spoilers?
Yes, we don't want to talk ratings after spoilers.
Okay, so, well, go ahead.
Who?
Chris, go ahead.
4. I give it a 4.
Okay. Todd?
I'm a 3.5.
All right. Pugs?
I'm going to go...
I know, it's hard.
It's between 3.5 and 4, but I think I'm going to go on the lower side. We'll go 3.5.
That's what I did.
For the fun factor, I am 4. It actually could have been higher, and then we'll get into the spoilers, but I'm a 4. All right. Spoiler alert, guys, because we're going to kind of be more open about the film now.
Especially if you're listening, this is it. If you're only you can't see the spoiler warning on screen. If you're just listening, Spoiler time.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Get out.
And come back after you see
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So Kevin James, I thought really good. He played a good villain, but again, this needed a little more. I mean, I thought this was going to get really ugly. I really did. I was like, oh my God, they're going to do horrible things to that. Well, it's not a stepmom yet, but the girlfriend and that little kid. I mean, I was like, this is going to get like Last House on the Left bad. And it didn't. But the gore.
You would have been torn, Pugs.
I can't justify, though. I mean, again, it is total fantasy that a 13-year-old, like Pug said, can John Wick her way through all of these guys. I mean,
look what she's been through up to that point, though. She lost her mom to the Big C.
Yeah,
you're angry.
But that doesn't turn you into John Wick.
Hold on. She's like acting out, and then she thinks her dad's gonna sell the goddamn property, and then now she has to deal with a new stepmom, and it's only been like a year. I don't know if the parents were divorced before. I don't think they ever cleared that up.
No, she died. That's what separated them. But I'm saying that's what they weren't divorced. They were together.
Oh, okay. And it's only a year, dude. Like that's a person can only take so much. And if she was that close to her mom, you know, they have the drawings and everything that shows like how tight they were. She's angry, and now I have a event I can kill somebody. Yeah, I think she could do that. Probably not as simply as they did it here and easy. But because I did laugh my ass off when she started taping up the damn crayons or whatever the fuck they were.
Yeah, it was colored pencils. I think it's not a matter of strength. She had the advantage of surprise. Everybody she killed, she didn't overpower them. She surprised them. That guy she started stabbing, first thing she did was she stabbed him in the shoulder, and then she got him again and again and again, and then she stabbed him in the throat. And while he was on the ground with a ruler through his neck, she kicked it to the other side. The other dude with the dock, she tripped him and then got him stuck on nails and then started beating him with the board with nails in it. And then he fell into the water and he couldn't swim. It was all about upper hand. She didn't overpower anybody. She just had an upper hand because she had the element of surprise. Even Kevin James, she doesn't physically she doesn't physically overpower him. I didn't find what she did unbelievable, honestly, at all. I just thought it was a little. There were some instances where I was like, all right, I don't know if this would have worked out that way, but okay, I can run with it. But again, that was afterwards.
Pugs. Or Dan, sorry. God, I'm sorry, Pugs. Let me ask you this, Dan. What about the ending of I Spit on Your Grave? Is that believable?
There are some issues with that as well, but she is a full-grown woman, so at least you can make some. Here's though my issue.
Let me go with this then. The younger ones probably
let me finish.
Okay.
There's 2 points in this that got me the most. Number one, Kurgan is a legit 7-footer, and when he picks her up and like choke slams her, I was like, that girl is gonna be, out for a while. And then at one point towards the end, I mean, Kevin James literally like picks her up and power bombs her. There's definitely
spinning power bomb.
There's wrestling
sidewalk
fans
slam.
that made this. So I was like, man, that's where I almost could have gone higher. I had a blast with this movie. I mean, it was great seeing her kill these guys, and
I will say this: having a niece and nephew, kids are made out of fucking rubber. I mean, I've seen my niece leap from the swing set and walk away.
Yeah.
Our swing set is 12 feet off the ground. Like, she just jumps from it or has fallen off the slide and she's gotten up and walked away. I mean, she was being slammed onto the ground, and like one of the parts where it was like really tall grass. There was enough to cushion that fall. Like, I'm not trying to put a lot of logic into it because I don't think it's a movie that really begs for it. But the stuff that you're talking about, I feel like would make sense. It can make sense given her physical attributes altogether. I mean, she's not like she's not a scrawny kid. She's average build, and she looks like she can handle herself. So she's probably been through some stuff. And adrenaline's a fucking powerful thing too. It can keep you going even when you're all fucked up. But I was more so surprised that, like, by the end of the movie, they sort of painted her as the bad guy. Like, because they're interrogating her, and they're like, oh, well, everything she did, we're just curious about what she's going to do. And it's like, she defended her family from men who killed her father right in front of her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, I didn't understand that angle of it. That was that made me go, huh, that's weird that's how they're ending this. I thought like she was going to have that key and she was going to open whatever it was and there was like $20 million in a chest somewhere. We don't even find out what the fuck the key opens.
Did you?
Go back
Yeah,
to
that was
Hitchcock,
weird.
That was the MacGuffin of the film.
Oh, fuck MacGuffin.
Did you take... Oh, go ahead.
I thought they were going to pull like spoilers for another movie, like a High Tension, where all of a sudden there was flashbacks and like these dudes were all innocent or something.
Oh. Yeah.
Kevin James just wanted to borrow some sugar.
He was really looking for his dog.
Right. King of Queens.
But the other thing is, the ending. We don't really get a definitive answer what's going on. So
I don't think it's that though. I don't think it's I don't think it's what Pugs is saying, because like he even says, oh, he remembers what the guy's shirt looked like, but not what she did to him. It's just it's not like if that was the point, they would have made that very clear. They would have said they would have done a High Tension where you would have been like, oh my god, this is what she was. She's crazy and she killed innocent people.
You know, High Tension spoilers.
I gave it.
You know what? I'm surprised.
Open the door to that. Not that they were going to, but I'm like, oh, if that's what they're gonna do. Oh, maybe not.
You know what I'm surprised nobody brought up yet, and this is actually a big criticism. The first scene, totally unnecessary. It lets you know that she gets through it.
Oh.
And granted, the movie's called Becky. Yeah, at the very beginning, she's talking to the cops. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I know she's okay. So it kills suspense.
I don't think it's that kind of movie either. I think the entire movie, she's going to get through it.
Yeah, I don't think that could have been there or not. You would have questioned it.
Most likely. I just didn't think it was necessary.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. It's not, to me. It wasn't like Terrifier, where Terrifier has two main characters, and then in the beginning they show one character with black hair and the other one's blonde. It's like, okay, there's only two characters in the movie, duh. Mm-hmm. And then they throw in the older sister, and it'll kind of fool you, and it's like, oh, okay, she's the responsible one, duh. It wasn't like that. I mean, this was like, Todd's right. The movie's called Becky. And, I mean, and honestly, the trailers show that she's getting an upper hand in the entire situation, so I didn't expect her not to walk away. I did like how they, like I said, because like the trailer, I thought, oh well, they kind of spoiled like Kevin James's death, because you see her shooting the squirt gun with the gasoline, and he's on fire. Yeah, and I was like, so I was waiting for that to happen, and then like I said, every death went a step further. So when she ran him over with the fucking, I didn't even know what that was. It a lawnmower that she was dragging behind?
The lawnmower from hell.
A stump clearer or something. Because she did that, and I was like, oh. Because like I was just like, I mean, I don't want to see this guy just get lit on fire, and that's it. He kind of deserves a little more. And then that didn't happen, and then she killed the big guy, which I was like, oh.
That was kind of like, fuck you. You don't get any redemption.
He was the only one who got off easy. You know what I mean? Everyone else got fucking slow, painful deaths, and he just got shot in the head.
And he killed two children.
No, he did. I know he deserved to die, but I was just like, I do love how the movie, because movies will do that. They'll do the character that like redeems themselves, and they get to walk off into the sunset. It's like, no, you fucking murdered children. You're an asshole. You should get killed.
Your friend.
And punched a dog in his goddamn face.
Yeah.
Dude. So
Diego Ventura, cool name.
You should see my inbox.
When he punched Diego, I was like, I said, because first I was yelling at Todd for not telling me about the first dog. And then I was like, they killed a second fucking dog? When did you think it wasn't appropriate to tell me that two dogs died in this movie? After I yelled at you about the first one. And he didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden I heard the dog whimper. I said, oh, the dog's fine. All right, you're good. I was about to cuss you out like you stole money from your mother's purse. Like, I'm not even fucking around. I was pissed. I was fucking mad when that dog died. Oh my God.
I saw him yell at me. I was like, I'm just going to let him find out.
They fucking shot the dog 8 times. I was like, why are you shooting him so much?
The joke at the end didn't lighten the mood at all. Like, did you get him or whatever the fuck he said? Oh, Hitman or something like that. I'm like, really? Now's the time for that? That's not working.
No.
I thought they might have killed the dog again when Kevin James started slamming the door on it. Oh, that scene.
I thought,
Leave
I
him
thought that too.
alone. Fuck.
I heard the dog whimper, so I knew the dog was okay inside the car. But I loved all of that because, like I said, it's all about her having the upper hand, and she did the entire time. Because he thinks she's in the van, and then she's in the other car, and she fucking hits him. And I did like it when OnStar was like, "Oh, we're sending help," and it's almost like she realizes I don't have a lot of time. I got to deal with this guy before they get here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, like she doesn't want the cops to get him. She wants to fucking get him. So she gets her plan together and, goes from there. But
would it have been better if we had like Kevin James as like Freddy Krueger in the next one, and he did just get lit on fire?
Yeah.
Burn.
I liked him in it. I do feel like that he did well, but it wasn't like Patrick Stewart well. Like Patrick Stewart surprised me in Green Room how unnerving he was and how evil he felt. Kevin James just felt like a guy who was trying to get it. Because even when he gets the key, it's like he stops choking her, and it's almost like, oh, he's going to let her go. Then he decides he's going to shoot her. And it's just like, oh, okay. Like the whole time, like, I don't know. The whole time it was just like, I agree with you guys. I feel like there could have been more. They could have pushed him being evil a little more than they did.
And I think he has it in him.
Oh, he did. He was.
I think he has it in him. I think he can go full blown evil.
Yeah.
Evil guy.
Yeah.
He was evil. It's just that felt more like a script thing. And like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if he just said, "Yeah, I'm not going to be dropping any, N-bombs here."
Yeah.
That's when you say we don't make him a white supremacist and we just make him a guy out of prison.
Yeah,
I don't think it needed to be. Like I said, other than the beginning where it is really uncomfortable because you're sitting there and thinking like, oh, he's going to say and do some horrible things to these people. Basically, the woman, they didn't really do much to her. I mean, they didn't do anything to the kid. So it was like, I feel like the character he was playing in real life, if that were a legit like Nazi type dude, they're going to probably do a lot more than what he did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That was like a minor complaint, but this movie is still kind of a roller coaster ride. I mean, it is fun watching her seriously decimate these dudes. I mean, I was not too sure. I thought Kevin James, this might be a little more psychological and, kind of just a stalk and chase type flick. But I'm just going to say this again. As a big dude myself, not as big as Kurgan, obviously, I could probably take out any 13-year-old.
No one's ever going to think you're as big as fucking Kurgan. I thought he was going to say Kevin James.
What I'm going to say, I can take out any 13-year-old with the choke slam.
You just incriminated yourself, Dan.
And
I'm saying if I were evil, I could. They wouldn't be getting up from a choke slam.
And Dan, you're applying. You're still using that. You don't buy that like I said, she had the upper hand. It's not a matter of strength. If somebody attacks you from behind and you don't know what's coming, it doesn't matter how much strength you've got. If someone stabs you in the throat, you're going down. Yeah. If somebody hits you with rusty nails tied to a board and the shock of pain is in your side and someone keeps hitting you, you're going down.
And their mindset is just like you right now, underestimating her. So
kids are strong. My niece has pulled me across the fucking kitchen floor. And my niece is 9.
I want to throw this one out there because Dan seems to have a problem with the Kurgan spot. Okay, especially in that spot, I think he had the upper hand and would have finished her if it was not for the change of heart. And I think that's the point of that. Because if he would not have stopped, she would not have survived.
Yeah. And again, she was in tall grass. That adds a lot of cushion. Believe it or not. Okay. You're applying a lot of logic to something that is sort of there, but like I get what you're saying, but you're not understanding what the point of it is that she had the upper hand and that guy didn't really want to kill her because, like Todd said, he would have. He was done. He had already checked out. He wanted to be done.
Dan said physics are fake news, so just
messed up, Todd. But no, I did. I had a lot of fun with this. This is actually probably the most fun I've had in a little while with the movie because
put your head down, Dan. When your
What?
head's up, it's harder to hear you. No, don't
You
get
hear me now?
closer. God.
No,
Blur that.
it was just like I said, maybe not realistic, but it was a lot of fun. And I hope to see Kevin James do more of this. The guy can actually act. I hope he can erase the image of Paul Blart and Kevin Heffernan. And
well, you don't need to erase the image. You can have both.
Yeah.
You can, but it takes a while.
There's that
Not
new
everybody
show.
gets there.
He was doing that show, and I can't remember what it's called. It was like a reality, not really, but it was like called Kevin James is a piece of shit or something weird like that. It was, I can't remember what channel. It was supposed to start filming right before everything went down. And I know,
really?
what's her name? The one who was
Leah
fired.
Remini?
No, the one who was fired from Kevin Can Wait to replace her with Leah Remini.
Oh,
Aaron.
I'm not a big sitcom guy.
I think it's Aaron Hayes. But she already said she'd be on the show. Well, it is about him being a piece of shit, so it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, overall, you're going to have a lot of fun with this movie. So I think we all kind of recommend it in our own way.
Did everybody like the eyeball?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah,
I was dying when he was using the little kid safety.
Yeah.
Give me the knife.
The only thing that I can't stand in some movies when there's an effect like that is there should have, like, blood should have still been coming out even when they cut it. No extra blood comes out, and I was like, guys, you just did someone getting stabbed in the throat and blood gushing out of their neck. This guy's getting his eyeball cut out. It just happened. Not only is he going to be in intense pain, but he's going to be bleeding still. I never understood that with, like, eyeball things in movies. Like, if they stab someone in the eye, they bleed for a second and then it's over. It's like, no, that's not how that works. They're still bleeding from a hole in their body. They're going to bleed a lot.
Oh, and you'll probably pass out and go into shock.
I did love that she got it. And then I honestly thought, since Todd already spoiled this, I thought the dad wasn't going to be dead because he got shot in the shoulder. So I thought, like, he was going to be the one to jump and save her at the end. Like, when I saw the guy jump on top of Kevin James, I was like, oh, the dad isn't dead. But then I was like, oh, it's the other guy. Oh, the dad the dad died from getting shot in the shoulder? Was his, like, lung in his shoulder? Like, what the fuck?
Before Kurgan tackled him, I thought it was going to be the mom. I was like, oh, now they're going to bond and have a good connection. And
that would have been cool. That would have been cool if that had happened. Because she just kind of he left her in the house. Like, I'm just like, I don't know if he would have done that. Like, I think he would have, like, I don't know, done something so she couldn't have gotten away. Because, like, that left really a lot up to chance. Like, you know, she could have just got up and left.
That he played it kind of a little chicken shitty. So when he finally, like, yells to run, that's like when it kind of switches. So I get what you're saying about him, but I think he might have been still in a little bit of self-survival mode. So I think that's why him going outside with them, or maybe him thinking getting the key back will work. I don't know. But I get what you're saying. But I think that helps the moment when he's like, run.
No. I'm talking about Kevin James leaving the mom and the kid.
Oh, yeah, that was dumb.
Towards the finale of the movie when he sets the alarm off. That was like whatever. But that was their attempt to try to make him more sympathetic as the movie played. I get that. But the other one where, like, he's like, I'm gonna, when I come back, I'm gonna kill you in front of your mother, and it's like, you don't even know how long you're going to be outside, dude. Like, they're only duct taped. Like, you can tear duct tape with your teeth. If she does this, duct tape's off. Like, you didn't tape her mouth. You didn't secure her in any way. If I was him, I would have grabbed the kid. Like, I'm taking this fucker with me, and if you try to leave, I'm going to kill him. If I come back and he's here. Because that would have added more tension to that moment, too, because if you think about it, in that scene where she hits him with the car, if the kid was with him, she'd have to hope the kid's going to get out of the way, or she doesn't care, and it's like, fuck, she's probably going to hit this kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could have been interesting.
I'm an orphan. Boom.
Do you think that maybe we're going to get, like, a Becky, too, and it'd be like a Tommy Jarvis kind of situation? Because, I kind of got the impression towards the end, especially when Kurgan's his real name's Robert Mallier, by the way, but wrestling.
He's always Kurgan.
Kurgan, when he gave that speech about kind of like, having that shit inside you and all of that, that kind of, I don't know, I felt like that was sort of maybe like maybe we'll do a sequel, and she's going to be like a psychopath little kid. I don't think she's riding off into the sunset with the would have been stepmom, but I don't know. It was interesting the way they ended that, and I laughed my ass off when she did shoot him when he was starting that same maybe there's and it's just like boom. I was like, oh okay.
I honestly feel like this is a one-off deal. I don't know if we'll get a part 2.
I don't see that
because I just don't know what they could do with it. And this movie kind of came out of nowhere anyway, so I don't. It's not because it's the same thing with Green Room. Like Green Room, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to make another one. It's like, but where are you going to go from here? Like, what are you going to follow it up with?
I still need to watch it.
Well, I'm just saying it's a one-shot movie. Like there isn't room for a sequel. Like it's not like because there are even as badly. I mean, I want a Trick or Treat 2 as well, but even as badly as people want, it almost feels like should they? Because there have been some sequels where it's like fuck, they wasted the opportunity to make another movie, and it's just kind of crap. But then there's some that are better than the originals. So, but some movies are better off just being one-offs, and I think this is one of them.
I want the sequel to be her tangling with Ray Romano as like a mafia kingpin. That's what I want. Each one she takes on some famous sitcom dad or something in a horribly evil role. So go through Ray Romano,
Martin Lawrence.
Man. Martin Lawrence, there you go.
The easy one, if they want to go lower budget, they just get Michael Gross.
Oh, yeah, Michael Gross is like a villain.
Well, I was doing the sitcom thing, Dan, if you didn't figure that out.
Yeah, you went way back. I was trying to be a little more reasonable.
I was going cheap.
You old bastard. But all right. So,
wait, did you suggest Martin Lawrence for recent, though?
He just did Bad Boys for Life.
Oh, yeah, that's
he's still affordable.
And
he's not.
Wait, yeah, but that is a good point because that sitcom's how old? 30?
Yeah, that's like the 90s.
There's only an 8-year difference
dude.
between Family Ties and Martin.
I'm trying to help Todd out here, Pugs.
I know.
Okay.
I did Everybody Loves Raymond, and
Do you realize the last time he wrestled in the WWE was over 20 years ago?
Fuck. I'm old.
Kurgan's been popping up in a lot of different stuff lately.
Yeah, I got him mixed up with the guy in Harley Quinn.
A better example of a movie that should have been a one-off was I Spit on Your Grave. The sequels they made to the remake were just meh.
I liked. Well, I'm a sucker for that genre.
It was the second one, but by the third one, I'm like, these guys really don't deserve this treatment at the moment, and I was rooting for you the last two movies.
Well, the third one I remember. I mean, I didn't. The second one I thought the first remake. I was like, okay. I in the original movie, they leave her for dead. She goes back to the house and she recovers, and then she goes after him. In the remake, they leave her in the fucking woods. She lives in a shack in the middle of the woods, comes back, makeup on point, hair great, clothes nice and clean, and I'm like, she should be either fucking Neanderthal woman by now, or they should have had some indication that somebody was helping her. It would have been a perfect opportunity to get Camille Keaton in there for a cameo, where this older woman finds her and helps her get back on her feet, and then sends her on her way, and then she goes back to that town going, I got to go get my stuff or something. Yeah, I mean, it would have been better than her looking all rough and tough after it's like a month in the woods. And then part two, I mean, but with that said, I like the remake because they upped the ante on the deaths. All the deaths were much more elaborate and brutal, to the point where that one kind of became unbelievable, but I digress. Because that one was her overpowering those men. And I was just like, these guys are 230, 250. One of them's 6'4". She's a $120 soaking wet. It's not. That wasn't an advantage. That was her legitimately, which is possible. I'm not saying
drags the one by the throat. Yeah.
I was going to say, if Joe Spinell was in Becky, this would have been 10 minutes.
Right. And then part two, I felt just didn't. It didn't have the edge that the first one did. But I didn't hate part three. But I didn't like them as much as the first one. I'm like, this didn't need sequels. This didn't need to have.
Either did the original.
More.
but here we are.
Well, yeah, the original has a sequel that's as long as fucking Titanic. That's
Yeah,
that's largely fucking unnecessary.
that was my main complaint on that movie too.
But
if Joe Spinell were in Becky, all he'd have to do is lock her in with the mannequin. She'd freak out, give him the key, and
He'd drown her in his sweat. It'd be awesome.
I just found out how he died today. I never knew how he died.
He just drank himself to death. Basically,
you've never watched the Joe Spinell story on the document on the Blu-ray. That is
okay,
like my.
So
okay,
hold on a second. Dan just said he drank himself to death. The story I read was he slipped and cracked his head in the shower, and then basically sat on his couch and bled to death.
Because he was because of alcohol, though.
But yeah, but saying someone drank themselves to death implies they drank until they died.
No, but it was the booze. The booze killed him.
He did drink until he died. If you want to get technical, but yeah, Joe Spinell's story is one of my favorite documentaries, which we did not bring up on the goddamn thing. And as Chris pointed out, we barely talked about like the zombie transfer.
We didn't review the fucking disc at all. We just talked about the fucking movie. All right. I was talking to him last night, but did we say anything about the disc? And he's like, I think you did. And I was like, yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I said the black levels were good, and it was improvement to the Blu-ray.
Yay, gold star for Todd.
Well, yeah, we're still on air, so we should probably wrap. I'm thinking we're just bullshitting.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. Before we do that, I want to ask Todd something. Would you consider this not a rape revenge movie, but would you put it in the same genre as like something like I Spit on Your Grave?
God, Dan would have been so happy if it went all the way in that genre. See bugs too.
Dude, Homeboy and the Orange Camouflage had pedo vibes for me.
It was. Oh, see, I was going the of age one. Sorry, I was going.
It was a home invasion movie. Which
I put in home invasion.
It doesn't have to be rape revenge. If it's
more
funny. No, I'm not saying rape revenge. I'm just saying revenge because, like, I don't feel like the home invasion aspect was there as much as the revenge aspect was there. Like, it was really about her getting back at them for killing her father more than anything.
Yeah.
It'd be close to it, like, but it's not in the same group. It's close. I mean, but if you just had a revenge category and didn't have the rape element, they'd all be in the same place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
So that is Becky, guys. Check it out. Brand new on VOD. And be sure to support us for exclusive and uncensored content on patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. Yes, it gets worse. And be sure to join the Horror Cartel Flesh Wound Radio Facebook page. Like the Flesh Wound Features Facebook page. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, you could be seeing my awesome hat, and you should. So, Flesh Wound Features on YouTube. And stalk us on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. We're on everything now. So, there we go.
Except the dark web where Dan is. All right. Peace out.
Good night, guys.